The overall goal of this technique is to provide an experimental model of retinal ischemia-reperfusion injury and its pathologic consequences.
This method is commonly used to investigate the mechanisms underlying retinal ischemia-reperfusion, as well as to evaluate potential therapeutic approaches for treating associated pathologies. The main advantage of this technique is that it creates an injury highly targeted to ocular structures while causing minimal damage to surrounding tissues.
The usefulness of this technique extends toward the understanding and treatment of multiple manifestations of retinal ischemia-reperfusion injury, including inflammation, oxidative stress, and cell dysfunction in the retinal neurovascular unit.
Video demonstration of this method is critical because the surgical techniques for cannula placement may be difficult to reproduce without a visual guide.
Before beginning the procedure, warm an empty cage on the table. Then insert the sharp end of the primary set pre-pierced Y-site tubing into a bottle of 0.1% heparin sodium and hang the bottle of heparin sodium from an IV pole extension. Snap open the air filter cap on the tubing. Then elevate the heparin sodium bottle to 163 centimeters from the tabletop to the peak of the sodium heparin drip to produce a heparin sodium flow pressure of 120 millimeters of mercury. Open the primary set pre-pierced Y-site tubing to allow the heparin sodium to fill the tubing and connect the primary set pre-pierced Y-site tubing to the 5-valve manifold. Then, using Luer male to Luer male tube fittings, connect 30-gauge half-inch needles to the 5-port manifold. Insert each of the needles into its own 10-inch segment of 30-gauge tubing. Then, using